amputation are important predictors for those people who've undergone an IRA in retaining their rectum long term. But perhaps more importantly here, there's really important endoscopic information. So if you have a total polyp count of greater than 500, it increases your risk of losing the rectum long term, and those groups would generally be favoured towards a pouch. But perhaps more importantly are the appearances in the rectum itself. So if there are more than 20 polyps in the rectum, then they should have a pouch. If there's less than 20, an IRA is actually a pretty reasonable option. Only way that you can actually do that is to diaspray that rectum. I've had lots of referrals where I've done this, and I've changed their operative management just by 10 mils of diaspray into the rectum at the last minute. The other really important thing that the surgeon wants to know is if I'm going to have to do a pouch, do I have to do a hand-sewn pouch, or can I do a stapled anastomosis? So the proximity of polyps to the dentate line is really important. So my code for my surgeons, if I say there's nothing within 2 centimetres, they know that they can do a stapled anastomosis. If there's something within 2 centimetres, they're going to do a hand-sewn pouch with needlecectomy. Post-operative surveillance. So this is the reason why there's been historical debate. Everyone says you leave the rectum in, they're going to get cancer, they're going to get polyps develop, there's no point doing it. But we know quite clearly you get polyp development and progression in both the rectal stump and the pouch. So pouch polyps may occur in up to 60% of patients. And there's lots of literature now coming out regarding pouch cancers, and a third of those are within the pouch itself and not the cuff that's been retained, or what's been called the anal transition zone. So how do we do the post-op surveillance? We'd recommend annual sigmoidoscopy for those people who've had a pouch, and 6 monthly for those who've had an rectal anastomosis. My personal practice is to resect all lesions greater than 5 millimetres. It's really useful because it can be guides to adjunctive medical therapy, and I won't go into any more of the studies regarding that. But also the endoscopist is in a really good position to guide the need for proctectomy or pouch excision. And I've put a reference there from Gleason from the Mayo Clinic, and they've actually shown that with polyp ablation, polyp resection, the risk of developing advanced neoplasia when people are on surveillance is actually very low. So I said that everybody should have a surgery, but of course there's the odd one that isn't. And so for the really extreme attenuated polyposis, you might consider primary endoscopic management. But you would only do this for people with a really sparse phenotype. There's no point doing it for people who've got 95 polyps, because they're going to end up having surgery. It's just a case of when. But for the people who truly have 5, 10 polyps and have had a few of these, and they're in their 40s and 50s, and cumulatively they've not had much more than that, but a definite genetic diagnosis,